My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Monster Train 2. Time for another run. We have the second of the champions for the Pyreborn to move on to, Lady Gilda. Lady Gilda, heiress to the Pyregel fortune, she might have been born with a golden spoon in her mouth, but this dragon has a vicious business acumen. Entire circles of hell have fallen due to her machinations. Is obviously, as all champions are, 0 Ember, but 3 size 10-20 unit, and starts with the Bloated Whelp in the base deck. A 1 Ember Whelp, 1 size as well, has the ability Indigestion. With a cooldown of 1, self-sacrifice, and deal 1 damage to enemy units. So, obviously, if you have Pyregel stacked on the enemies and then do this, it'll deal Pyregel plus 1 to all enemy units, which is pretty, it can be pretty severe. Who are we using as our second Legion here? I mean, I think I've used Lunar Coven, Under Legion, and Lazarus League each twice already at this point. I guess I'll use Lunar Coven so that next episode I can use the alternate champion for the Lunar Coven as well. We also have Covenant rank number 6 active at the moment as well. 1 card per draft also adds a Calcified Ember. And then, which of these do I want to be playing with the Pyre Hearts at the moment? Witchweave is a 0 cost, so I do like the idea of having Heart of the Pact, because it's very easy to play a card from both our primary and allied clans. Yeah. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, time to depart. We have Seraph Eternus giving us corruption to our units and applies corruption to our units each turn, but doubles that corruption on strike. So we'll have to find ways to be pretty resilient on our front line. We've also got Archeon, Scion of Savagery, who is going to gain rage on Siphon. And Kale is giving damage shield to the enemies. Cool. Start with 2 copies of Pyreball in base deck, 2 Ember spell that's explosive, dealing 15 damage, and any excess damage it deals is dealt to each enemy unit. 2 copies of Fey Blessing as well, 1 Ember spell, restore 5 health, healing over max health applies armor instead. Okay, that's going to be really helpful for beefing up our front line. Speaking of our front line, we also have Hothead. 2 Ember 2-size dragon has the ability Fire Breathing. With a cooldown of 2, deal damage equal to this unit's attack to enemies twice. So the fact that it has a cooldown of 2 really makes me want to get Mind Cage in this deck. A piece of equipment that allows you to reduce the cooldown of a unit by 1 every turn. So that would just give us the ability to use Fire Breathing for Hothead every single round as a good, like, AoE clear. Let's have a look at our champion upgrades first. Ooh. Guild Mother. This increases the size of Lady Gilda up to 4 size, giving her 35 and 60 as her stats. Also Trample, and on Summon a Gilded Egg. The Gilded Egg on Summon retreats to the back of the floor, and when you defeat a boss, you gain 2 Dragon's Horde. Okay. Oh, this one. I think I'll go with this one, though. There's Lady Gilda's Bloat Matron. On Harvest, which triggers whenever a unit dies on this floor, not necessarily an enemy. On Harvest, apply Pyregel 2 to enemy units. Whelp units cost -1 on this floor. So you play the Bloated Whelps, you explode them, it gives damage to everyone, it applies Pyregel to everyone, and then you summon another Bloated Whelp and you explode it. So this would be a really good way for me to turn Whelps effectively just into spells. I'd love to do that. Magma Core. Your Pyre applies 2 Pyregel to all enemies, on all floors on Revenge. Crown of the Eternal, at start of turn, fully heal champions. That would actually be a pretty good way to keep Lady Gilda quite healthy. Yeah, let's do that. So next, we've got Merchant of Arms, 2 spaces up. So I typically like to avoid the first Pyre main space because I don't get a lot of value out of it. It's trying to heal a Pyre that ideally at least, I haven't taken damage on by that point. So that means I'm going to be likely going to the Merchant of Magic and Lunar Coven in the next area, which means in this first area I should probably consider the Pyreborn Banner and Merchant of Steel. Mark of Invasion. The copies of Witchweave in our deck and Pyreball make me really confident. Oh, and all the Bloated Whelps literally can take out an entire floor from Mark of Invasion. Yeah, we can do that. Very easily, in fact. I suppose we go Hothead here, Lady Gilda here, Shield Steward. Shield Steward? Get him, Whelp. Big old harvest. Sphere Steward, definitely bottom line. Hothead takes out the middle line as well. I'll use Fireball for the back line and then just confirm pretty much ease of navigation of the rest of this. Heart of the Pact, of course. I've just got to make sure that I always play out all the Witchweaves that I have, because otherwise I will forget to trigger Heart of the Pact sometimes. Despite the fact that it's one of my favorite things to do! I definitely want to play out the Vengeful Shard. I guess I can summon the Bloated Whelps on the top line. Yeah, there's no reason to hesitate on doing that. A little bit of healing. Again, I was considering not playing that Witchweave. So glad I thought that through. Okay. Easy additional Whelps up here. I kind of want to end up with a ridiculous amount of Whelps in this base deck. A lot of draws so that I can just draw through to them because they'll be 0 cost. And then additional capacity for the top floor. Maybe popping a room down here that does something additional on Harvest as well. Oh. The reason I'm so excited by that is because it's a completely different way to be approaching generation of value in this game than I've been able to interact with so far. Definitely think I should use Fireball on the bottom line. Actually, no, I think I use Healing on that bottom line. Yeah, with that healing, we can now take down the Cowering Sycophant. That's pretty much all I could ask for. So yeah, this enemy is losing their rage time over time, so they will get weaker and weaker. I'll use Fade Blessing on the top line to try and keep Gilda alive as long as possible. Obviously, Hothead, deal your free damage. I'm a little scared of how much damage I'm going to take to the Pyre here. Did I overestimate how effective this would be. Loaded Whelp. Loaded Whelp. Yeah, I just lowered my damage quite significantly there. Well, let's undo that turn. Oh! I guess what I need to do is use Lady Gilda's Harvest Floor on the bottom so that I can apply a bunch of Pyre to units and then have them ascend through lines, taking additional damage with that Pyre. I think that would be significantly better. Oh dear. Well, I'll tell you this, I might be going to the Pyre Remain space. I have some value I might be able to get out of it. Another copy of Fireball. There's Lava Flow. 0 Ember, consume, apply a Pyre Gel forward to enemy units. Honestly, that seems quite valuable here. Ooh, plus Calcified Ember. Okay, yeah, so the Calcified Ember is the card that I remember. It's a 3-cost blight, but when you play it, it is purged from your deck. I'll be taking Lava Flow here. There's a Meddler on summon phase, and then on ability use Moonipulate, which phases again. Silver Strike, 1 Ember spell, deals 25 damage to the front enemy unit. On full moon it does it twice, and then finally Phase Blessing again. Not gonna take another copy of Phase Blessing here, I don't believe. Especially because it comes with the Calcified Ember. I could take my first copy of Silver Strike, I wouldn't be entirely against that. I have no reason to care about the full moon, so the Meddler doesn't really make any sort of sense. I think I actually take money here. Okay. Merchant of Steel would be really good. Specifically, getting Endless on one of the Whelps just means every single turn I get to trigger the Lady Gilda stuff. It's very important. Also, Pyreborn is more likely to have things that directly interact with them. Let's look at the Merchant of Steel first. Okay, Immortal Stone's right there. Upgrade a unit with Endless. Upgrade a unit with Avarice 3 as well. That's actually pretty fun. So, all of the Bloated Whelps will gain 3 gold for each unit that gets struck. So I put that Avarice and Endless on the same one. Use it as a farming machine. Sounds pretty good to me. We also have a 1 Ember Guildmonger, 2 size, but on Extinguish, specifically only on the death of the Guildmonger does that trigger. Gain 1 Dragon Horde. I mean, that'd be really good for a Reanimate build. Just give Reanimate to the Guildmonger, put it out in the front line, get a ridiculous amount of Dragon's Horde. We also have the Magma Cultist. On Incant, apply Pyre Gel 1 to enemy units. 2 cost, 1 size dragon. Yeah, that's huge. I mean, it's only 1 size, but it is really powerful. That sitting behind Hothead. Oh my god. Lady Gilda realistically does only want Whelps on her line, just because I don't have much space for much else at the moment. So... Endless and Avarice. Also, I think I'm gonna give Conduit 5 to the Magma Cultist, who has Incant, apply Pyre Gel 1 to enemy units. Conduit 5 is just 5 magic power. That's exactly the floor that I would be casting spells on. Mind Muddler. Draw 1 less card each turn, gain 75. I mean, as long as I do hit my Heart of the Pact consistently, that should be fine. If I don't hit it consistently, it could be a problem. Okay. Do I want Lady Gilda to be the bottom floor? Yes, because her triggers will happen every turn, whereas Hothead will happen every second turn. Yep, got my first Bloated Whelp. That's all I really needed. I suppose I'll use this to gain additional health on Hothead, who needs it. That's our first Heart of the Pact trigger. I think I will have enough Ember to be able to play the Shield Shield on the top line here as well. It's on single unit death. So if I really wanted to, I could use Witch Weave to take out the back line and then take out the rest of you. And in that way I can avoid having to play Fireball on that line. How much does it benefit me to avoid playing Fireball on that line though? I'm certain there's a better order here, but also I don't think it will matter. So I'm not going to tie myself in knots over it. I really wish I had my avaricious little boy! Hello! Bloated Whelp, welcome! Finally, it's good to see you. I'll be able to play the Bloated Whelp basically every floor at the end. I can take you just out with Witch Weaves. And I definitely do need to play this. Alright. Might as well save some health. It would have been so much better to have drawn you earlier, friend. Another Bloated Whelp. Another Bloated Whelp explosion. Pop a Spear, stew it in the back line. Vengeful Shard. We can throw a couple of Witch Weaves out there as well. I think we'll be fine. Hopefully. Sorry, I hope we'll be fine. That's what I meant to say. I hope we'll be fine. It's really about how many spells we get to cast on this floor. Lava Flow, great turn to draw you, buddy. Phase Blessing for additional health on our frontliner. Maybe it should be on the Magma Cultists. Part of the Pact is being triggered. Do I need to... Yeah, I throw Witch Weave first. Then Bloated Whelp. Explode. Wait. It'll only end up dealing 4 more damage anyway. So yeah, it triggering on Fire Gel is good. Okay. I think... this game spikes every floor now. Cool. I can take 1 damage in order to get another 3 gold this battle. I'd have to use Fireball to take out my own unit, then summon a bloated whelp, explode the bloated whelp, so I wouldn't be able to play out the Vengeful Shard. Yeah, I don't think that's worth it. Being 1 less on draw definitely hurt us a lot in that fight, especially considering how much of our value is now based on getting a giant amount of incant triggers. Also, I do wonder if maybe I do need the Magma Cultist and Hot Headline lower than Lady Gilda, because they would apply a lot of Pyogel, and then Lady Gilda's line could explode. But if I draw the Bloated Whelp with Avarice earlier, I want it to explode every single turn. Effectively as well. Is it ever that I think it's after I get Size, Magma Cultist goes on the same floor as Lady Gilda. Or maybe I don't even need additional Size. Maybe I just deal with the fact that I'll only ever have 1 slot on that floor being a whelp. That's actually probably much more realistic. Ooh, there's a whelp. Snotty Whelp. 1 Ember, 1 Size, has the ability Gelly Sneeze. Gelly Sneeze, cooldown 2, deal 1 damage, and then apply Pyogel 10 to the front enemy unit. I don't dislike it. But I do like the ones that are self-sacrificing here, so they make space for other ones to be played. I don't think that Snotty Whelp will very much help me. Maybe after I get capacity, though. There's also Pyocast, Consume to apply 10 Pyogel for 1 Ember, and then a Pyoball. I don't need another copy of that, and I certainly don't need the Calcified Ember it comes with. Maybe I should just take the Snotty Whelp. I can find a way to use you, certainly. Bloody Moon, 2 Ember to deal 25 damage and on Slay, gain 2. I mean, it's a good spell. I don't really care about Silver Strike. I might have taken another copy of Phase Blessing at this point if it weren't for the Calcified Ember. So do I value a Merchant of Arms here? There's certainly some equipment that I would take, like, obviously Mind Cage comes to mind. Cage comes to mind. Cage comes to mind. Cage comes to mind, but I would not really like to avoid getting a Merchant of Magic here. Merchant of Magic as well as the Lunar Coven banner seem very, 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 very useful together. Lunar Coven caring a lot about magic power, and Merchant of Magic also, look, you're not going to believe this, but they actually care a lot about magic. Ooh, Permafrost. Yes. So, it's not incredibly powerful. That's not the thing about that I'm excited for. What I'm excited about is that will give me the ability to unlock another Pyre. All I have to do is hold the Permafrosted card for 7 turns, I think it is at this point. We've also got Double Stack, 10 magic power, -2 cost and consume. Great. Let's look at the Lunar Coven units. 2 Ember, 2 Size, Selena Acolyte. Has Mage Blade 2, and on Full Moon, attacks with Sweep, dealing damage to all enemy units. Mage Blade, 1 additional damage per stack of each magic power on the floor. And then there's Nightingale, Stealth 2, New Moon, Multi-Strike. Gotta be honest, I'm not actually especially excited for either of these. I'm leaning very far towards taking neither. If I can get the Selena Acolyte to be out of phase with the Hothead, because the Hothead can use its AoE once every 2 turns, and if we're not phasing the moon, then same goes for the Selena Acolyte. If I could do that, then I could guarantee AoE on a second floor. I could see some usefulness in that. The only problem with that is you are 2 Ember. You are very expensive. So's Hothead, so's Magma Cultist. Like, that would actually push me in the direction of getting extra Ember as my first pickup, which I don't want that. I want Draw. Actually, sorry, I want a Capacity. Oh my god, I already forgot what I wanted. Is Capacity. I'm struggling, but I'm skipping. What am I doing? Do I really believe this hard in what I'm doing? Where's all my damage coming from? Consistent spell interactions? I need to do a lot of work with this Merchant of Magic right now. Okay, Permafrost. Who can use this the best? Realistically, holding Bloody Moon for the right opportunity is pretty good. Should I see if the other one gives me a spell? It's unlikely that this is going to dupe a spell for me. I'll go to the event first, just in case. Hopefully it's not offering to dupe something. Oh, it's Bone Dog! I can pet the Bone Dog to get the Bone Dog's pendant, or I could get the Bone Dog to get the Bone Dog. On Celebrate, your Pyre permanently gains 10 additional health. I gotta be honest, that does seem like a good idea for us right now. I would just have to put you in a safe position pretty much every run. Your pendant could also be really important. I think fully saving us once is actually going to be necessary. It's still the option where you pet the dog. Thankfully, none of the options are abandon the dog. Permafrost on... Gosh. I guess maybe Fireball instead. Because I do feel like I'm going to play Bloody Moon every single time I draw it. Plus 10 magic power. This feels like this should go on one of the explosives. Sure. No, I'm going to -2 cost and consume you. Plus 10 magic power. There we go. Bloody Moon. Oh, but I want to lower your cost twice, ideally. I'm getting too stuck here. Witchweave, you hold it really well because you are 0 cost and you will always be played. Consume, that goes on the one over there. Double stack, don't really have much ability to use that at the moment. I'd love to give Dualism, which is basically double stack for a unit, to Magma Cultist to have Conduit 10 and on Incant apply Pyre Gel 2 to enemy units. That'd be great. Archeon, Scion of Savagery. Okay, so Lady Gilda, Magma Cultist, same line, then Hothead, Individual. And Hothead was afterwards? Yeah, Lady Gilda fully heals as well. So it's a very, very good tank unit at the moment. This also works really well because Hothead deals damage twice, which means that all of the Pyogel applied on the bottom line is double dealt. Oh, we got both our Vengeful Shards in the opening hand here. Ooh. I will definitely keep Fireball at some point in this run. Do I need to do it right now? Because I'd really like the Ominous Acolyte to go down. I guess I can just play High Up Low and then deal with it next turn. Yeah, that's fine. There'll always be additional utility for the Fireball in the future. Start out with a Witch Weave on the bottom line, just to set up some higher gel, so that our first bloated whelp takes out the units. There we go. Second one's just a couple additional harvest triggers for us. Okay, cool. Just confirming that this Fireball is excess to requirements so that I can hold this one as well as the Dragon Breathing ability. We've only got one spot at the moment on the train for a Spear Steward. That's fine though. Come on, Avarice! Gosh, never lucky. Snotty Whelps here. I guess I could play you at the end of the turn and allow you to die. Yeah, that'd be fine. Get him with a Gelly Sneeze. Then I guess I'm just dropping Phase Blessing for additional armor down here. And throwing out a couple of Witch Weaves. That line's fine already. And again, cool. So this is largely about stacking Pyogel on Archeon, because Pyogel does not decrement turn over turn. Finally! We've got 2 waves left, and we do have our Endless Whelp. I've been waiting for you, friend. Get him! 9 gold! I could do that every turn! It's so little gold. Realistically, it's so much less than I need it to be. Spear Steel for the next line? Not really. I think I will hit the double from the Hothead here. There we go. Fireheart, Echo of the Time Father unlocked. Now I can use my fireballs with reckless abandon. Get him, bloated whelp. Get him. Well, actually, hang on. If I'm going to be playing Face Blessing on the bottom line anyway here, I might as well do that before I have my whelp explode. So that it just takes out the backliner by itself. Allowing the Shield Steward to die here is actually kind of great. Gives me the space to play a Spear Steward if I need additional damage set up for that line. Hey, and there's a Spear Steward. Okay. So I can definitely play out my entire hand. Let's just get that Spear Steward on the next line. I'd love Fireball to be the lethal for one of these units. There we go for that. You apply Pyogel. Yeah, it's better to summon the Whelp earlier, I think, because it applies more Pyogel than casting individual spells. And that's pretty close to getting the kill. But it leaves Archeon with enough Pyogel that a stiff breeze will take them down afterwards. Which is great, because we do have a stiff breeze further up. Get him, Hothead. Breathe him to death. Oh, I even get one last chance to play the Bloated Whelp and actually take out the enemy with it. Hell yeah. 3 more gold. Oh dear. Lunar Cycle Staff. 1 Ember Moon Cycle. This equipment gains 1 damage permanently every time the moon phase changes. So the earlier you get that, the far better off the far better off you are. It would be a pretty good piece of equipment for Hothead, who deals their damage to enemies twice. We also have Pyroclasm, 4 Ember Attuned, multiply the effects of magic power on the spell by 5, Explosive, and deal 150 damage. And then finally Superheated, 3 Ember, consume double the amount of Pyogel on a unit. I do care about stacking Pyogel on a unit, but I don't stack a huge amount of Pyogel on a single unit. I stack a lot on a lot of units. Sorry, I stack a little on a lot of units. So that doesn't really feel appropriate. Pyroclasm feels like it could be really useful for taking down big health enemies, something that I feel like we're a little bit weak at the moment. I say a little bit, I mean a lot of it. The Lunar Cycle Star coming with a Calcified Ember, though, is just a little terrifying. I'm going to take Pyroclasm. Another Magma Cultist? Astrologer, 1 Ember, 2 Size on Moon Cycle, gain 4 damage. Totally fine. Selena Acolyte, we mentioned slightly earlier. If I could manipulate the moon phases, you would be a very good unit to give quick attack to, because on the bottom line, you would clear the enemies before they even get to attack. And if I do get 2 extra capacity, I have the ability to put you on the bottom line and still just have the 1 Whelp. And then another copy of Magma Cultist, which, I mean, obviously we can see the utility in another copy of Magma Cultist. It's just, I mean, Magma Cultist and Selena Acolyte, you are both very expensive. You're asking a lot of me. God. This is really difficult. I'm leaning Magma Cultist, but I don't have the energy to play it. I could take Ember here, but if I take Ember, I feel like I get the energy to play out the first turn, and then all of the rest of my turns, I'm like, I don't care about having this extra Ember. Limbo Solace, obviously, incredibly important, especially with the amount of 0 costs that we have in the deck. Noting that all of the Whelps are effectively 0 cost, and one of them is endless, so I'll draw it every single turn. The earlier I draw to it, the more useful it would be. It's just, there's a lot of reasons to go for Limbo Solace, and Heaven's Light, the 2 additional capacity. Which realistically, I can't do anything with the Magma Cultist at the moment because I don't have Heaven's Light. It would be great if one of the later Broodmother Lady Gilda lines says Whelps have 0 capacity, or you can play Whelps on a full floor. That'd be sick. I don't think that'll be the case, though. Ugh, which of these is the easiest to mute? I think I need capacity quite badly. Capacity won't give me the ability to take down big units. I'm spending way too long on this decision again. It's either draw or capacity. Those are the 2 ones I'm going to be taking. I'm taking draw now. I'll take capacity later. Damn it. Once per battle, the Echo of the Time Father, the Fire Heart we just unlocked, will be selected to apply Frozen to all non-Blight and non-Scourge cards in hand. Hell yeah. Applying Frozen means that it'll be held next turn and the turn after and the turn after. It's not just retain your hand for the next turn. It's retain all of the cards in your hand as long as you would like. Merchant of Trinkets next to a Celestial Alcove and Pyre Remains. Honestly, the Pyre Remains track is looking more and more appealing. Fireborn Banner with the Merchants of Steel and a Forgotten Boons. Admittedly, I do feel like I need more units still. Couple upgrades, like especially to the damage of Hothead would be very useful. Maybe another Endless Whelp. I feel like the power level of Merchant of Trinkets and Celestial Alcove is so variable. If I hit there, if I get something that's like, every time you play a Whelp, something, 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 like that would be incredible. But if I don't, ugh. I think I have to go to the Merchant of Steel. I think I just need some straight up statistics. All right, Lightforge, what do you got for me? The second level of Bloat Matron, now Harvest applies Pyogel 4 to enemy units. Ooh. Lady Avarice, that's fun. Enchant, grant Avarice 5. So all units on this same floor will gain the bonus of Avarice 5. So that's all of my Whelps would explode for 5 Avarice, which is kind of what this one's already doing. That doesn't actually help me that much, unfortunately. I feel like I'm committing to a line that I'm going to lose on. Oh, Smidgestone! Smidgestone and Large Stone! Who wants to be big and small? Who wants to be giant tiny? Fireborn, do you have someone who wants that? There's a 1-cost Miser, an Avaricious Dragon, as well as the Magma Mauler. 1-cost 2 size. On strike, apply Pyogel 8. No, I don't think... I think I could throw like a Miser on a line behind Hothead. That wouldn't be so bad. Sure. Large Stone. I feel like it's now Large Stone for Hothead, and then we Small Stone Hothead. Then additional damage. None of you really need that. Additional health. Same? If I reroll, I won't be able to buy any of the more important enchantments, so we'll just be leaving here. Merchant Trinket in the next area, Fireborn. We'll see what we do. Oh, this run feels so precarious. I feel like we're going to encounter one enemy that just has a lot of health. Like, yep, Fallen Executioner. 6 damage, 150 health. We're going to encounter one enemy like that and just absolutely fall apart. That said, Mark of Invasion, that's not such a problem. Oh, wait, no. The summoned units will be Misshapen Fiends. On Extinguish, they'll apply 3 Corruption to our front unit. Okay, those are going to be a little harder to clear. Not impossible, certainly. Fireballs, just clear an entire line of them. So does Hothead. A bloated whelp, well, 2 bloated whelps played one after the other will do that. I do think that I need additional money. Realistically, I don't think that's what ends up killing us. I think the Fallen Executioner is more likely to be our problem. Right. So... Lady Gilda, you can take corruption because you'll just fully heal, so that's not a problem. I wonder if I do need Lady Gilda on the bottom line still. Just in order to try and protect against any Scourge-giving enemies. Are there Scourge-giving enemies in this fight? I don't recall. Dang. Should I have Lady Gilda and Hothead on the same floor now? Maybe that's how we adapt. So the previous lines are just to try and... loosen up the health of the frontliners? That doesn't feel right. I have to take time here because I'm pretty sure if I take the wrong decision, I will lose. Ugh. I really like the idea of Hothead being on their own line. Hothead with a Miser behind, but Miser doesn't need to be played in the first round. Which does free up Lady Gilda to still have the Magma Cultists. I feel like that as the bottom line makes a lot of sense. If we put Hothead on the top line by itself, it'll have the ability to clear out the first line. Then it will start taking a lot of damage due to corruption. So I'm worried about that. But I could also possibly block that with literally the first whelp that I draw. It's the second round. It's the second load of enemies that comes up to the top line after Hothead has already used Fire Breathing that I'm really concerned about. Realistically, the idea is to draw Fireball in one of the first 2 turns. Like, that's actually... well, that or Lava Flow as well as one of the bloated whelps. But I think that's relatively reliable. That's what I'm going to elect to do. Okay, that seems to have gone pretty well for us. So what I want to do is get... well, actually, Bloated Whelp, you want to go on the midline, just hit him. Because that's 15 gold for you. So 1 Bloated Whelp goes on the top line, then you explode, giving all of that corruption just to the Bloated Whelp. And then on this line, if I just like Witch Weave the backliner, after I summon a whelp, obviously. Oh, cool. They give their corruption to my whelp before my whelp disappears. Oh, that was great. And then I should get a Spear Steward behind the Hothead to help me with the higher HP enemies. And yeah, that totally frees us up to just summon this whelp here and then sack this whelp here. Money! We finally got our greedy whelp in time! Ooh, the Malevolent Hunter is trying to haste to the top floor. Not while I have something to say about it, you don't. This was actually a tricky one. I think I have to summon my Whelps on the top floor. I mean, because it's much more coinage to summon it up there, first and foremost. Harvest units on this floor is much more impactful, though. It's just I really want one of the Whelps to take all of the corruption so that I don't have to deal with Hothead just suddenly dying. Also, I want the money. Just the Malevolent Hunter is going to the next floor. I mean, that's fine. Realistically, the problem here is the Fallen Execution has taken basically no damage and has basically no Pyogel on them at the moment. That's really what's going wrong. I think I have to take 1 damage to Vengeful Shard here so that I can summon a Spear Steward to deal some damage to the Executioner next round. Ooh, this bottom line is perfect for us. Let's go Lava Gel, Bloated Whelp, blow him up. Thank you for giving me all of that corruption on my endless and dead unit. Base Blessing would keep the Spear Steward alive to be able to respond to Fallen Executioner at least. Does anyone really need healing right now? No, I'll just deal some damage to the Executioner. I'm probably going to end up having to throw Fireball and another spell at it. Is there only 1 Executioner in this entire wave? Okay, no. Thank you for immediately answering me. Not leaving me languishing there. Boy. Yeah, I am concerned about that top line. I feel like Snotty Whelp Gelly Sneeze is essential. Setting up for Hothead's double attack. Now it's dead. Great. I think I have to hold on to Fireball as long as I can. Also, I get more money not using it here. Shield Steward for some defense. Drop a Vengeful Shard. A little bit more damage from Witchweave. Nice. How's this gonna do against the boss? It really depends on how many spells I draw on that turn. I don't think I play a second Magma Cultist. I still do need to be able to play Whelps. Them harvesting does give me a lot of Pyogel. That said, I do think like Miser and Magma Cultist could both be played on the top floor. Then summon the Bloated Whelp on the bottom. I guess Witchweaves just help us out on the midline and give us additional draw next turn. Let's go. Perfect. Summon, descend all friendly units to explore and retreat, and then apply multi-strike 1 to all friendly units, so these misshapen fiends need to die. How do I best accomplish this? I'll play... I want to play as many spells as I can this turn. So there's our big Pyogel. Some more defense. Guess I'll drop 1 Vengeful Shard as well. Bloated Whelp, you'll harvest for more Pyogel, and one more spell after that. Let's go. It's not going perfectly. Thankfully, Hothead is very healthy, because this next line is not going to survive long. I'm going to Bloody Moon my own Shield Steward to resummon a different one. Gives me more time to deal some more damage. Base Blessing certainly feels like it should go on... Oh, hang on. We'll full heal you first, so that then it's armor. Don't really have a space with blood. Oh, hang on. I'm going to slightly reorder that turn so that I do summon and then destroy that Bloated Whelp, because I just have extra Ember left off at the end of the turn anyway, so I may as well. Premium. Alright. Moment of truth. We're not dealing enough damage yet. Let's throw some Witch Weaves at it. Incanting for a little additional damage each time. Throw a Fireball, and then... Hothead him. Got him. Hey, and we even get the Miser to get to strike a bunch of times here. Every time the Miser hits the enemy, that's 10 gold. Alright. Hell, he's scraping through. Oh, wow. Fanning the Flame. 1 Ember Explosive deals 3 damage to a random enemy unit. On Slay, deals 3 permanent damage more. Soul's Melter. The Soul Smelter. The Soul's Melter. 3 Ember, 10 damage. On Siphon, trigger whenever a unit dies on this floor, gain 1 soul. On Celebrate, gain 1 Ember... one Dragon Horde for every 4 soul. That, to me, is a way to turn Lady Gilda's entire brood into gold. All of the whelps that we destroy on our floor and the enemies we destroy on the same floor will become power. That's also really important to do in my mind, because the Dragon's Horde offers you minor Pyreborn artifacts, and a lot of the minor Pyreborn artifacts seem to be related to whelps as well. There's a 2-cost Cosmic Bolt here, and a Tune spell that deals 35 damage, but comes with a Calcified Ember, unfortunately. Moonlit Glaive, 1 Ember, 5 damage, but Mage Blade 3. Some pretty good damage for a unit. Oh, we only have Conduit 5. Okay, it's fine. And Glittering Draft. 1 Ember, consume, restore 20 health to a unit, and apply Conduit 4. That'd be a good way to give just a little bit of additional health and a little bit of additional support to the Hothead. And it doesn't have much cost in the deck. It's 1 Ember and it consumes. If I don't end up loving it, it's not too heavy to carry around. I definitely need to go to a Merchant Trinket at this point. When a card with Consumer's Blade deal 30 damage to the front end of the unit, sure. Firer's Inferno. Dragons apply Pyogel 5 on strike. Now, yeah, Hothead doesn't strike. It deals damage equal to its attack to enemy units twice. I mean, obviously the Magma Cultists strike, Miser strikes, like, it is worth having that. It's good. Deepwood Oil, not so much. How many cards do I really consume? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's not enough. I'm going to re-roll here and look for something much more impactful. Ugh. That's a problem. Sketches of Salvation. After the deployment phase, summon a random unit from your deck on each floor. As much as I do want to get my units out onto the board as quickly as possible, That gives me less control because Lady Gilda might summon a Shield Steward behind. In which case, okay, now my Lady Gilda line is blocked. I can't use her for the Whelps. Breath of Heaven, advance the back enemy unit when it enters your train. Is that typically going to be better for us? We don't really care about the enemy's positioning. Razor Thin Crescent, Mage Blade adds an additional damage per stack. That's not especially useful for us either. Oh dear. I'm going to take Breath of Heaven and then check out our Fireborn banner. Another Magma Cultist or a Greed Dragon, which summons for 10/10 additional for each Dragon Horde we have. Which we get the Dragon Horde at the very end of the fight, so we're never going to have a lot of Dragon Horde for that guy. And I definitely don't need another Magma Cultist. Unstable Vortex for a couple card removals. At this point, we don't really have much use for the Shield Stewards. Yeah, they're just a block between me and my spells at this point. So, Spear Stewards are a little easier. I'll take out one shield and one spear. Next area, we have a Merchant of Magic as well as an Empyrean Well directly next to it, or an Armory and a Merchant of Arms. Merchant of Arms is impactful, but only because I really want to... I want Soul Smelter as early as I can get it, but also, it costs 3, so I really can't afford to have it in my opening hand, or sorry, my deployment phase, rather. I'm probably going to go to the Merchant of Magic in the next area, which would finally be a good excuse for me to go to a Pyre Remains and heal up my Pyre. Seal of Aggression. Non-boss enemy units gain multi-strike. The enemies also have Harper's Protector, which will enchant to grant enemy units Titan Skin 5. That's actually kind of annoying. That's going to defend them against all of our damage until we use a little bit of Harvest on the enemies. That said, it will be at the front of the floor. No more enemy units gain multi-strike. Honestly, that should be fine, because the other units should be pretty easy to kill, and also Lady Gilda fully heals at the end of each turn. So again, this line is Lady Gilda on the bottom with Magma Cultist with Conduit behind. And then top line, Hothead, and we'll add other units over the course of the fight. Well, I mean, I could just start out with Fireball on this bottom line. Probably should do, too. That's harder back triggered. Cycle through a couple of these Whelps as well. Nice. So ideally, most of them should go pretty much like that. Oh, this is great. Okay, I'm gonna use Soul Smelter finally. And then I can use the Lava Flow to set up for Fireball to take out this line for us, as well as start harvesting all of them. Unfortunately, I don't get to play my Miser just yet. Say Libby. Oh, I got... Actually, I have a Witch Weave just for the Collector on that line. Perfect. What else? What else? As many kills as I can get on the bottom line, so Loaded Whelp. Explode. Loaded Whelp. Oh, sorry. Should have done Phase Blessing first. Explode. Hang on. There's definitely a better order I can do that on the bottom line. Yes, we'll use the Glittering Draft first. suppose I'll give the conduit to my frontliner. Then Witchweave is still going on the next line. That's always happening. Phase Blessing for the additional armor first. Then I'll drop my first bloated whelp and explode it. Great. So this will guarantee that the Harpist Protector dies before combat starts, just so that I expose the Fallen Execution to more damage. I'll also have Hot Hell killed that unit because I'm probably also going to use the spell to take out the next Fallen Executioner, so it'll be 2 more turns before Hothead has to use it. First appearance of our Avaricious Bloated Whelp. Phase Blessing, Witchweave. I feel like all of these are going to be essential on the bottom line. Yeah, I'm going to use the Witchweave to take out the Harpist so that I can take out the Malevolent Hunter with the Bloated Whelp, unfortunately lowering the amount of targets it's going to hit. 3 less gold! How will I survive? I'll find a way. Opportunity here to get rid of 2 damage to the fire, but realistically, I think I need my Magma Cultist summoned. I'm also going to need my Miser soon. Our numbers don't really get bigger over multiple turns. Slightly concerningly. Alright, Miser. Then we'll throw Hothead's damage at it. We can use Witchweaves and healing on that line. Also triggering Heart of the Pact. Great. Bloated Whelp with some self-sacrificial behavior. Spear Steward down, literally just for some additional damage on the Fallen Executioner, and go. Yeah, this is going to come down to the top line and the amount of incants that we apply on the bottom line as well. I mean, Fireball on Harpist Protector makes so much sense. It's definitely going to be happening. To that's a Bloated Whelp first. I guess the Witchweaves should be next. I want Pyogel on the Harpist Protector to be as high as possible before I throw Pyoball. Hang on. I think I have to do that differently. Our top line's going to need a little help. Specifically, I think I need to spare the Pyoball for up here. That's okay, because Witchweave will just take out the frontline target immediately. Blessing for the bottom line. That'd be more applications of Pyogel as well from the dragon having hit the enemy. Great. That line's covered now. Perfect. This middle line is basically just waiting time. Let's get a Spear Steward up on the top. I could use Bloody Moon to take out my own Shield Steward right now. It wouldn't really change anything. The Avarice won't really do anything either. 5 on each hit. I think my best move is literally just healing up the Hothead as much as I can. I'll take 1 less fire damage. I'm pretty skeptical I'm gonna have enough health to do anything. Yeah, I killed the unit, but how many of your reanimates can I get through? I'm guessing nowhere near enough is the answer to that one. Let's drop a Witch Weave, Phase Blessing. Hit him with the moons, and let's see exactly how many of them we can get through. Obviously, you gotta hothead him too. Oh boy. Okay, so each of these is now through a stack of reanimate. Okay, we're gonna get like, oh, not that many more. I think we're dead. Yep. Oh boy. 1, 2. Damn it. That's what I get for trying not to focus on just one big unit. Exactly what I deserve. This would have been so useful. The Cursed Dragon Staff, 2 Ember, 5 damage. On incant, apply 1 damage to enemy units. Also, the Spirit Baker's Charge. After using an ability, friendly units gain 5 damage. Oh, we didn't even level up the Lunar Covenant enough. Oh, we got the Echo of the Time Father, but we are still short on Fyra's Greed. Good lord. Do I run it back? I think I run this same combination back next episode and make different and better decisions. And in doing so, we will unlock the alternate hero for the Lunar Covenant and hopefully also get Fyra's Greed at the same time. We'll head back to the outpost.
Another war council? This is taking away significant time from my experiments.
Oh god, this guy's voice I may have to change because it's hard to go in and out of. As if our discussions will alter the Actually, that's not even his voice, but I'll do this version of it. As if our discussions will alter the inevitable oblivion that awaits us.
Your doom and gloom won't balance the checkbooks, Bolete. But neither will this war if it drags on like this.
Apologies for being late. Did I miss anything? Please, everyone, get situated.
There is a lot to discuss.
When I first came to Hell, I gathered you all here to warn you of the threat that I witnessed in heaven. I saw the Titans with my own eyes. But since then, despite our victories, the Titans have yet to reveal themselves again. We were at a stalemate. And now, with the recent attack, the Titans are no longer sitting still. They're taking the offensive.
Who is to say these Titans cannot be reasoned with? Heaven and Hell were created by Titans once.
A reasonable question, Phoenix. But from what we know, these Titans aren't the good kind. Isn't that right, Ekka? Bell speaks true. My coven came from a place beyond Heaven and Hell, the same place these Titans come from. The Titans helped Seraph destroy our moon, leaving my coven without a home. It seems they plan to do the same here.
So, what is your master plan? Keep sending out trains while we twiddle our thumbs here, waiting for another attack?
Actually, yes. If the recent attack on the outpost has shown us one thing, it's that the Titans see us as a serious threat. If we can gather more information, find a way to get past Seraph and get to the Titans, we can stop them once and for all. But we can't do this until we learn to truly work together. We need each of your clans, every resource and advantage that we can muster.
Bully.
Sorry, that's... you illuminated the other character. Bolit, your fungi are our front line. Without your numbers, we have no chance of holding them back. We need them now more than ever. Oreki, we need your genius. Your experiments might be key in figuring out how to stop the Titans' corruption. Phoenix, your vast coffers are the lifeblood of this army. We depend on you to keep all our operations running. And Eka, your Covenant's knowledge of the Titans is the most valuable weapon. Without it, we're entirely in the dark. I know this war hasn't been easy, but if we don't stand together, everything you and I care about will be destroyed. So please, stand and fight with me.
Death may be inevitable, but surrender, that is worse. My fungi and I will remain standing with you, Fel. Experiments, you say? Now that is a master plan I can get behind. I will see what my research can produce for the war. Heaven will have some serious financial obligations when this all blows over. Perhaps this will be a fine investment.
My Covenant's knowledge and strength are yours to utilize. The Titans took our home, but we will not let them take this one. Thank you, all of you. We will move forward together. Let's win this war, once and for all. Next feature unlock coming next episode, along with our next victory, but until then, my name has been Rhapsody. Sometime the train gotta go off the tracks in order to learn how to build a better train. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top left's a series playlist for all of my content of the game, past, present, and future. A special thanks this episode to Matthew. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.